welcome to MacBreak Studio. We're looking at motion, and Mark wants to show us some symbolism.
Some symbolism. We're going to do some symbolism. Symbols and symbol fonts.
Okay.
And we've talked a little bit before about how symbols can be useful for 3D text.
Right.
Because Motion has this incredible 3D text engine, as does Final Cut Pro 10, and symbols let you create very interesting 3D objects.
Right.
Okay. So, but I've learned a couple new things that I really thought were worth sharing. And the first is T for the text tool. I'm going to click in the canvas here, and then you can go to the edit menu and choose emoji and symbols. So this is going to be symbols. We'll come to symbol fonts in a minute. There's also a keyboard shortcut, Control Command Space. So I'll press Control Command Space, and it brings up this window where you can go through here and find each of these guys, or you can click each of the categories below. But what I like to do is click this little palette symbol up here, which makes a bigger version of it, so you can see these categories. It makes it a little easier to navigate, okay?
Are you gonna pick an emoji?
No, I'm not going to pick an emoji, because emojis don't really work for 3D text. Right. They really don't extrude or anything. Yeah. You have to use these symbols. But what I wanted, the cool thing I want to show you, this was just a small thing, is you can toggle the little view there. I didn't know that. And by the way, this was another great user tip, is being able to toggle the view of that. But there are some other categories that don't show up by default. Okay, all these symbols look great, and there's great things you can use and make 3D extruded objects about all of them, but there's more. So if you click this gear menu, even though it looks grayed out, which is very odd.
It is.
It looks grayed out, but if you click on it, you can still choose to customize the list.
Would it be grayed out?
So if I open that up, there's a bunch of unchecked ones here. A few very useful ones that I found are technical symbols, signs and standard symbols, and musical symbols. So yes. I'll add those and click Done, and it adds these to the bottom. Okay, so for example, if you need a telephone, this is the place to go. Put a 3D telephone, or if you want to use the Command key. So actually, I'll double-click that Command key.
Well, it has all the Mac keyboard.
Exactly, all the different
modifier keys.
All the modifier keys, which is why I originally looked this up. And then musical symbols, if you need a musical symbol. So that's just one way. So I'll put that symbol in there. I'll go to the inspector and make it really big. And then just to make it look nice, in the Appearance tab, I'll turn on 3D text.
And skin that puppy.
Yeah, I'll use one of the presets here. I'll go to Stone and use, say, Travertine, and make it nice and thick also. This really isn't a tip about 3D text so much. And I'll add a camera just so that we can easily rotate around and take a look at it. Okay, so there we have that's a commanding command symbol.
It is,
right? So the cool thing is, with symbols, there are many more symbols available in the character palette by going in and customizing them there. So that's tip number one. Tip number two has to do with Fontbook, okay? Now, we've gone into Fontbook in previous episodes where we built a collection of symbol fonts, because there are many fonts that are symbols.
Right.
And I collected them all together in this. I'm going to get rid of this, okay? I'm going to select it, control-click, and say delete. Get rid of that collection, because there's a better way. And this comes from Gary S., who showed me a way to do this also on tech support. So instead of that collection, which I made manually, I created a collection and dragged all the stuff into it. Right. Guess what? The Fontbook has the ability to make smart collections. Yes, so just the same way you can do it in Photos or Final Cut Pro, of course, smart collections in Fontbook. So I'll call this Symbol Fonts. I'll leave all, but I'll change family name to Design Style, and Design Style is Symbol. Click OK, and now I have all symbol fonts show up in here, just like that. The other thing that happens is, once you've done that, if you go back to Motion and you've got text in your project, in the text inspector under Format, we've got this pop-up of collections. Symbol fonts now appears as a collection of fonts, okay? So that's useful if you know what letter it is, but frequently you don't. So like if I go to Badani, for example, I don't know which letter to type to get those different symbols.
Sure.
But if I go to Fontbook and select Badani, I can say, well, actually, I want this guy right here. So I'll copy it, select it, copy it, go back to Motion, and Command-V to paste, and it's pasted it in there. Now, it's really small by default, but I'll make it okay. So there it is, nice and big. And just to, again, make it look a little nicer, I'll go to Appearance and make
Make it metal.
3D. Yes, I'll make it metal. How'd you know? I'll go to metal and put a nice brush metal on it and also give it some depth. So there's our nice, beautiful Badani ornament that I can use in any kind of project and animate and what have you. Just a cool tip that you can create smart collections in Fontbook for all your symbol fonts and then have easy access to them for creating beautiful 3D text in motion.
That's a fantastic tip, Mark. I'm sure people out there are going to love it.
I love it. It's very useful to be able to grab this stuff quickly. I use it all the time.
Awesome. So check out all Mark's training at rippletraining.com regarding motion and Final Cut and, well, and anything else related to Resolve and Logic, we have it. Check us out on all the social media channels. Thanks for watching MacBreak Studio. We will see you next week.